again. This is Matthew from Prophetic Tongue, here to bring, again, another book recommendation. I know I missed last week, got caught to be busy with some other things, but this week, back at it. This week I picked another C.S. Lewis book. It's called The Pilgrim's Regress. And on the back it states, the first book written by C.S. Lewis after his conversion. The Pilgrim's Regress is, in a sense, a record of Lewis's own search for meaning and spiritual satisfaction, a search that eventually led him to Christianity. Here is the story of the pilgrim John and his odyssey to an enchanting island that creates in him an intense longing, a mysterious, sweet desire. John's pursuit of this desire takes him through adventures with such people as Mr. Enlightenment, Media Halfways, Mr. Mammon, Mother Kirk, Mr. Sensible, and Mr. Humanist, and through such cities as Thrill and Escaropolis, and through the Valley of Humiliation. Though the dragons and giants here are different from those in Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, Lewis's allegory performs the same function of enabling the author to say with fantasy and simplicity what would otherwise have demanded a full-length philosophy of religion. In Lewis's skillful hands, this fable becomes as effective a Christian apologia as Bunyan's. So I read this a while ago. I probably should read this again, but I'm very much into allegories, and when I heard about this book, I had to pick it up at a time, at one point in time. Just a little bit excerpt in the first chapter. I dreamed of a boy who was born in the land of Pertania, and his name was John. And I dreamed that when John was able to walk, he ran out of his parents' garden on a fine morning on the road. And on the other side of the road there was a deep wood, but not thick, full of primroses and soft green moss. When John set his eyes on this, he thought he had never seen anything so beautiful, and he ran across the road and into the wood, and was just about to go down on his hands and knees and to pull up the primroses by handfuls, when his mother came out running out of the garden gate, and she also ran across the road and caught John up and smacked him soundly and told him he must never go into the wood again. And John cried, but he asked no questions, for he was not yet at the age for asking questions. Then a year went past, and then another fine morning John had a little sling, and he went out into the garden and saw a bird sitting on a branch. And John got his sling ready and was going to have a shot at the bird, when the cook came running out of the garden and caught John up and smacked him soundly and told him he must never kill any of the birds in the garden. Why? Said John. Because the steward would be very angry, said cook. Who is the steward? Said John. He is the man who makes rules for all the country around here, said cook. Why? Said John. Because the landlord set him to do it. Who is the landlord? Said John. He owns all the country, said the cook. Why? Said John. And when he asked this, the cook went and told his mother, and his mother sat down and talked to John about the landlord all afternoon. But John took none of it in, for he was not yet at the age of taking it in. So that's the very beginning of the book of The Pilgrim's Regress. Like I said on the back, is C.S. Lewis's first written book about kind of his conversion. If you do like allegories like I do, this is a must read.